Welcome to Fabricadabra Embroidery Edition. Today we're going to be working a satin stitch. So as you can see, I have two little boxes here that I'm going to fill in with a satin stitch. Because that's what a satin stitch is. It's a filler stitch. So when you begin your satin stitches, what you want to do is first outline the area that you're doing, whether it be a square or a circle or an oval or a leaf shape, whatever. So I'm using a little back stitch here to stitch around the box. Now you can also do one of two things with your satin stitch. You can either fill in just between on the inside of the box, just between the outlines, or you can do an alternate version, which I'm going to show you. I'm not as good at filling in between the lines, strangely enough. I mess it up often. But let's finish up this back stitching of the outline first. I wish I could make this go a little faster, but I don't have that setting. Now you don't have to do an outline. You don't have to do an outline stitch, but many people find that it helps keep the work neater. And it also it's a very good visual guide for where your lines, your stitches need to begin and end. Okay, so here I am. This is my attempt to fill in the inside. And you're going to see where I mess up. It's almost right from the beginning. So I'm going to come up from the back. Okay, and I'm trying to get as close to the corner of this box as I can, but it's not exact. It's a little bit over. You see that? It's going to leave a little bit of a white line there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it. It's going to be a little wonky. You typically want your satin stitches to be very straight. You don't want them slanted or anything like that. And you certainly don't want them mixed, some slanted, some straight, some slanted the other way. You don't want that. So in order to fill in this little gap, because it's not the end of the world, I'm just going to come back. Instead of going towards my right, I'm going to go back towards the left and fill in that little gap. And then I'm going to head on the other side of that first stitch I made. Okay, and I'm trying to get it really, really close to the inside edges of this box outline, but you can already see that I have a few gaps in there. And so I'm just showing you this because it's one of the ways that you can fill in using the satin stitch. And with the satin stitch, you always want to use the full 6 threads of your embroidery floss. It makes filling it in much quicker and much easier. Okay, so now I've outlined the second box already. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to start on the outside of the box. So I'm going to use the outside edge as my guide. I'm going to come up from the back at that outside edge of where the box is. Okay, so I came up a little bit up from the corner, but that's okay. I'm just going to go back and fill that in. But I go down on the opposite outside edge of the box. And you're going to see how much nicer this one looks than my first one. Okay, and I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. Get it as close to that outside edge as you can, and then back down as close to the outside edge of the box again as you can. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit so you can see it, but not have to wait so long. And yeah, I think one or two more stitches and we'll be good. And it's really just satin stitches, just a series of straight stitches that are incredibly close together that you use to fill in an area. And so now you can see that's both of them together, and you can see how much neater that one looks than the other one. Thanks for watching and happy sewing.